20 to 30-somethings, nearly $5,700 more debt than their parents did at the same age, more than $8,100 more than their grandparents did at the same age. That's according to a new study by The Ohio State University. To make matters worse, 1 in 4 Americans are borrowing against their 401k, not to buy a home, not because of a medical emergency, but to pay their monthly bills. Why, America, are we so addicted to debt? Let us bring in personal finance guru Suze Orman, host of the Suze Orman Show. It's a great question. I mean, debt, $982 billion in student loan debt, okay, trillions in mortgage debt, hundreds of billions in credit card debt. Why?
We are not addicted to debt. We are addicted to what money can buy, and we want what it can buy even if we don't have the money to buy it. So we are addicted to bigger
Another
homes.
Four-letter word ending in a T.
Yes, so truthfully. So we are addicted to bigger homes, fancier cars,
Bingo.
fancy jewelry, better schools for our kids, and money is the only thing that you can spend even if you don't have it. Think about it. You want cookies in a cookie jar? If there are no cookies in that cookie jar, you're not going to get a cookie. You have no money, you have credit, you can buy things without having to pay for it. So we're addicted to that.
Can you though? Because I want to play the other side of
Yes.
this. Things have become so expensive,
Yes.
right? Medical costs, medical insurance, sending your kid to college, right? Buying a home, buying a car. These are all basic necessities for many people's lives. How can you afford it without going into debt these days?
There's one thing about going into debt, such as mortgage debt. Lock in the interest rate, smaller payments, whatever, over a 30-year or 15-year period of time. Very different than credit card debt. Mandy, if you have credit card debt, you are paying for your present-day desires and your cost or your future-day needs. There is no excuse for credit card debt on any level in any family.
And I'm going to go after my co-host here just a little bit. And here we go, because the college thing I agree with. College costs are out of control. However, to Susie's point, we have become addicted to what we think a college education is going to give us, right? If you have a C average from an average school somewhere, you're better off going to probably get a skilled trade, but you're convinced if you borrow the $100,000, you're going to have this asset,
but we've been
which will
sold
value
the American dream. We want better than what our parents had and what their parents had. We want a bigger house. We want a better education. We want everything that's better. We've been sold the American dream.
Not necessarily anymore, my dear Mandy. Now what people really are wanting is they want to be able to sleep at night. Many people want to get out of the house that they bought, and all they ever want to do now is rent. They don't want to do that. But now we have the problem of they got themselves into debt. They owe more money than they have. Now what do they do? And that was the second point that you made there, Brian, where they're now going to their 401k plans and they are borrowing. And that is by far the stupidest thing you could ever do in your life is to borrow money from a 401k.
Well, does that raise the bigger question of, like, the effectiveness of the 401k as a savings vehicle? I mean, surely you shouldn't be allowed to take money out of your 401k. There are many countries that do not let you take money out.
Should you not be allowed to take money out of your 401k, you should not be paid to take money out of your 401k. Now, listen closely. When you take money from a 401k, your employer will say to you, here's how it will work. I'll pay you 8% on the money that you pay.
Right.
So when you pay this back, I'm charging you that 8%. You're paying yourself 8%, so you're making 8% on your money. And people who don't understand what that really means believe this. So it's almost as if the government has wanted you to take money out of your 401k. Why? Because if you take money out of your 401k, it's money you've never paid taxes on. When you go to pay it back, you're paying it back with after-tax money. When you get older and take it out again, you're paying taxes again. Loans create double taxation. Government wants double taxation.
You know, and I loved your point, too, because we've tried to point this out. It's hard to sort of break through the idea of this, which is, I understand the middle class has struggled in the last 20, 30 years. Income gains have been very, very difficult, if not impossible, to come by, right? But the average size of a home has gone up 30% in 30 years. The average car price is now $31,000. We spend an average of $300 a month as a family on cell phones, right?
On Apple products.
You know, you never get good ratings by blaming your audience for anything, right? But at the same point, how much of our problem are we to blame?
3, 4, 5 years ago, 100%. Consumers were to blame in terms of consuming much, as well as, however, the government, the SEC, the mortgage brokers, everybody was also to blame. Today, people truthfully are struggling and wanting to make it. They're not necessarily overspending. They're taking their money out now not to buy things anymore, Brian. They are taking money out to pay their bills. They are taking money out because we don't have jobs for them. We don't have retirement. Interest rates are so low they can't live off their income anymore. Now they're not to blame. Now they don't know what to do. And none of us are providing answers when it comes to the government for those people.
It's a huge dilemma. But Suze, as always, fantastic to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.